morning, people. I'm Lindsay Geektron, and this is LolKing's League Trends for the week of October 14th, 2014. You guys excited for Worlds? I know I am. This week's featured champions are all a bunch of dudes: Scion, Lucian, Azrael, Yasuo, Ryze, and Maokai. Let's dive into Summoner's Rift. This week, the increased pick rates include Scion, Jace, Lee Sin, Twitch, and Corki. Scion has been reworked. The undead champion is now the undead juggernaut. The new Scion has been massively popular, so let's go over the big guy barreling through your games. Scion's passive, Glory in Death, briefly resurrects him after dying. Scion gains bonus damage, attack speed, and lifesteal, but his health burns away quickly. Decimating Smash is a charged ability that either slows or stuns enemies directly in front of Scion, depending on the time spent channeling. Scion's Soul Furnace is a shield. Like his old one, it can be detonated for damage after a short time if it's not broken. Roar of the Slayer is a single target skill shot that slows and shreds armor if it hits a champion, but if it hits a minion instead, it'll knock that minion through other units for bonus damage. Scion's dramatic new ultimate is Unstoppable Onslaught. He charges at a long distance at high speed, knocking up or slowing enemy champions when he arrives. But he's no Formula 1 racer though. He doesn't handle turns well at high speed and only embarrasses himself with a stun if he hits a wall. Like every reworked champion, expect to see Scion on the Rift, and it's entirely possible at the finals. The champions on the decreased pick rates for this week feature Lucian, Soraka, Nidalee, Tristana, and Victor. Lucian's popularity has waned slightly as of late, but he remains a very high-profile champion. The reason for this decrease is a small nerf to his Relentless Pursuit. It now costs 40 mana at rank 1, and it's only free when it's maxed out. This means that Lucian can no longer spam his dash whenever he needs to, which obviously impacts his laning phase. In practice, not much has changed. Lucian still has reliable trading from his Piercing Light and his Lightslinger passive, mobility from the previously mentioned Relentless Pursuit, and his long range from Ardent Blaze and the Culling. He fits nearly any team and has few downsides. He will continue to be a strong pick, and his overall win rate has actually gone up since the patch, so expect to see the Purifier in solo queue and most definitely at Worlds. Increased win rates this week are Azir, Azrael, Gangplank, Aatrox, and Master Yi. Azrael is back in action. His Mystic Shot received some small damage increase, while his attack speed granting passive was increased in duration by 1 second. Azrael is a very safe champion because of his Arcane Shift escape, but his damage was on the low side for a marksman. He's still no hyper carry, but these small buffs give him the damage to compete. Azrael's primary strength comes from the long range of his Mystic Shot. It's a skinny skill shot that requires practice to land, but good players are able to poke people down with it. The best players can use Azrael's range and mobility to hit priority targets. Azrael's also good at following pickups or hard engage, since locking down a target helps him land his global ultimate, True Shot Barrage. While it's unlikely we'll see him play during the finals in Korea, it's likely you'll see him in solo queue. Decreased win rates this week list Rammus, Yasuo, Tristana, Skarner, and Alistar. Yasuo's win rate has plummeted after nerfs to his base health and movement speed. The Samurai has been a fixture in the mid lane since his release, and while he'll still be around, he comes with a bit more risk than before. One of Yasuo's strengths in lane is his ability to start with Sweeping Blade at level 1 and force trades. Yasuo can charge through minions, briefly attack with his lane opponent, and then dash back on another enemy minion. The shield from Yasuo's passive, Way of the Wanderer, allows Yasuo to win these trades. This is all intact, but having lower base health means that Yasuo is much more vulnerable while his shield is recharging. Players should remember to keep moving in lane to charge up the shield's resource flow, and plan their farming and offense around whether the shield is available. As always, Yasuo works best with allied knockups to set up his ultimate Last Breath. Expect to see the Unforgiven hanging out in the mid lane for weeks to come. Champs with increased bans are Scion with over 15% increase from last week, with Rammus, Ryze, Lucian, and Gnar following up. Everyone's favorite Peanut Head is getting banned out lately. This is partially due to a strong showing for the champion at Worlds, but it's also indirectly caused by other champions. Nidalee was the premier lane bully in the top lane, but after she got nerfed, Ryze has emerged as the next most annoying champion. Riot tries to avoid it, but sometimes the balance process resembles whack-a-mole. Ryze himself hasn't been changed. He's a bully in the top lane, but he can also be played at mid. In a team comp, he brings reliable CC and sustained damage. He also has a strong early game against melee champions and scales well, but can falter in mid-game if he doesn't do a good job farming. So make sure you're comfortable with his auto attack. Rise players need to use mana wisely before they have a tier, and avoid biting off too much if they haven't finished their Rod of Ages. Look for Rise at Worlds and in solo queue. Finally, the champions with the biggest decrease in ban rates this week are Tristana, Maokai, Yasuo, Nidalee, and Morgana. Players are less scared of trees these days. Maokai's ultimate, Vengeful Maelstrom, reduces a little less damage since the last patch, but his decreasing ban rate has as much or more to do with other threats taking priority. Additionally, Maokai is a tank and not a major damage carry, so he's not quite as menacing by himself as other champions are. Maokai is definitely one of the best tanks though. He often has to flash for it, but he brings a targeted and consistent engage with his Twisted Advance route. Maokai also assists his team with multiple slows as well as damage reduction for everyone inside his ultimate. In the top lane, Maokai players should use their abilities frequently to charge up their stat magic passive and heal themselves. Working towards the Rod of Ages gives them the mana to do this and win the lanes through sustain. Maokai can also jungle, but he struggles against invades from better duelists. It's possible we'll see him in solo queue, but I think this may be the end of the Twisted Treant in competitive. And that does it for this week's episode. Please be sure you check back every week for the latest League of Legends picks, bans, and win rates. Please be sure you like and comment below, and share this video around with all of your friends who like League, because we League. And make sure you subscribe to LolKing's YouTube channel before you go. I'm Lindsay Geektron. You can follow me on Twitch TV at Lindsay Geektron. Thanks guys so much for watching, and I'll see everyone next week.